Okay, so what we're going to talk about now is the 80-20 layer. Now the 80-20 layer is a layer where you do 80% of your work in 20% of the image. It's a technique that I've learned from Calvin Hollywood, and a lot of other photographers use it, where it's one layer that you do a lot of your changes and everything to, and that layer literally takes you 80% of the time of your entire edit. So let's start. You can see I've already done a 2-raw conversion there, and you've got a monster merge. So because I'm using the tablet, I can bring up a menu that I've already pre-selected some actions to, and I'm going to select monster merge. If you don't have a tablet, it's Control-Shift-Alt-E, and hence the reason for monster merge. So now I'm going to rename this layer 80-20. Now a few things I do to this layer straight off the bat is I create a vibrance layer, and I push the vibrance up to between 30 and 50 depending on how much I really want the color to pop, and then I merge it down. Every layer you see, every alteration I make, I merge back down into the 80-20 layer, and to merge down just press Control-E. Very simple. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a black and white layer, but I'm going to tint it. Click auto just as a little rule of thumbs, and I'm going to change that blend mode to soft. And you can see a lot of contrast in there. And then I'm going to pull this opacity right down to about 20. And there you can see just a subtle change. And then merge it down again. Then I'm going to create another monster merge. And I'm going to go up to Image, Adjustments, and Shadow Highlights. Now I've preset my shadow highlights, and depending on your likes and dislikes, you can also set your shadow highlights and save it as a default. So I've set my shadow highlights, that's what I want, and I'm going to change this blend mode to soft light. And what you see, it actually enhances the contrast and the color at the same time, but that's way too drastic, so I'm going to bring it down to, again, about 20%, and I'm going to merge it down. Then I'm going to create another monster merge layer. Image, Adjustments, and Shadow Highlights. And now I'm going to use the Shadow Highlights layer, but that's way too overblown. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring it down to 50%. 50% is good, and depending on your taste and what you want the image to look like, that's what you would do. So you make your alterations, and then you merge down. And now this is now where those are my off the bat techniques that I do to my 80-20 layer straight off the bat. Now what we're going to do is we're really going to work on this image and show you what you can all do in your 80-20 layer. And remember, your 80-20 layer can be done anytime throughout your process. I prefer to do straight after my 2-raw conversion, and then with that what happens is when I add my details, my contrast, my dodge and burn, my painted look, my glow effect, it all blends in and blends the alterations that I've made to make it look more realistic. That's why I do it so early on. You can do it right at the end, you can do it wherever you feel. So let's create a new layer, and what I'm going to do is just start by, let's get rid of that little branch. So I'm going to clone that out. I'm going to clone stamp tool, and when you use clone stamp, also just remember to select here current and below layers, okay, so that it selects from the layers below and you can paint on the colors above. So let's fill in some of these holes, make it look like a bush, and again I'm doing this very fast just to show you how it works. And remember with your cloning just to select from different regions. Okay, so we're doing it very roughly. Hey, I'm getting lots of blue. Okay, so we've roughly touched that up, very roughly, and that's good, looks alright. I'm going to merge it down. Now what you want to do is change the color of this grass. So I'm going to go to color, and I'm going to select a color of the grass that's about here. Nice dark green. Select my brush, paint it up to 60%, and then I'm going to paint in some of the color of the grass here. Don't be too shocked by the color that you're getting. So there we go, just a quick touch. Remember, I'm doing this fast, you'd be taking a lot more time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control J, duplicate that, and change it to soft light. Voila, that's exactly what I wanted. So now go down to your first layer, merge it down, and merge it down again, your second layer from the grass. There we go, so we've changed the color of the grass, we've cleaned up there. And now we want to just lighten some of the faces. I'm going to take my history brush on screen, 20%, and I'm just going to lighten up some of the faces here. There we go. There, that's nice. Just get it in, make them a bit lighter. There we go. And as you go on, you can see you can just keep on making adjustments, merging down. And let's add a sky in here. So I'm going to go back. Let me just select the sky. So I'm just going to take that sky and then I'm going to paste it in here. There we go. So we take that away. Let's select a color range. So we're going to select the image, the 80/20 layer, select color range, and you click on the blues that you want. You click add and you just keep on adding those blues in there. There we go. And that's pretty good. And then all you're going to do is select that layer, make it visible, and add a layer mask, and there we go. You've added some clouds. So we've added a little bit of sky, and it's very roughly done again. And then merge it down. Okay, let's see, let's take this walkway around here. Change opacity to 100% and just remove this walkway nicely here. You can see I'm taking different segments of the grass, and we can take this walkway away here as well. There we go. Let's just eliminate that, make it look a little bit more realistic. There we go. Okay, so we've done that. Let's change this flight suit to black. Another layer. We're going to go color and select black, and then opacity 60 to 100%, and just paint in there black. We want to leave some of the blue in, but we want this flight suit itself to be black. So you can see you can literally change a lot of things on your 80/20 layer. And if you've gone over, not a problem, add a layer mask, take a plain back black brush and just paint back in where you went too much. Okay, so I'm going to give the Grim a bit of a black suit as well. Select the layer and let's paint in there. Let's give it a nice black suit so we can get rid of that blue trim that's in there. A blue tint. It's throwing everything off a bit. And you can, like I say, just really go mad on that. And there we go. Merge it down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of dodging and burning. Change it to soft layer. Fill it with 50% grey. And what I'm going to do with the dodging and burning here is I'm going to highlight the contours of the people's limbs and where they are bending and kneeling. You can see that's where the highlight would go, just to highlight their limbs. And then you can go even closer and really just work on the highlights on the actual clothing itself, the highlights and shadows, so you can really just pop them out, because in this type of image you really want it to be popped. Now I'm doing this very quickly because we don't want to spend hours on this, but you would spend a lot of time going through each little crease. And then we're going to burn. We're going to burn, decrease the size of the brush, also 40%, and just bring back in some of those darker tones to highlight the creases. And there we go. Essentially that's your 80/20 layers. You're putting a lot of work into it, and you can see the dramatic change in the image in that layer. And you can go in and add, let's add a new layer, new full layer, solid color. Let's add a bit of orange to it. So I'm going to go soft light, add a bit of orange. Here we go. Give it a bit more drama. Drop that opacity to like 60%. and merge down. Now I'm going to go layer. Let's do another full layer, also soft light, and we're going to go give it a nice blue tone, but we're going to bring this blue tone right down to like 20%, and you can carry on playing with different layer effects and different styles and really enhancing this image, adding more drama to the blood, more drama to the creases and things, and essentially that's your 80-20 layer. Very simple, but yes, this is one layer you're going to spend a lot of time on. So I hope that was helpful. Thanks.